Economics.
Mark, the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, is a new regulation out of the European Union designed to give EU citizens the right to data erasure, the right to opt out of data tracking. Why is this EU law something that U.S. institutions need to be aware of?
As in all cases, we all, of course, are responsible for the guardianship and privacy of all student records. And now it's a regulation, it's a true law with real teeth into it. So thus, we really do have to pay attention to it. Now, let me be real clear. I think the overall intent of the GDPR was to, in essence, ensure that the individual data subjects had the right to prevent the dissemination of their electronic information, primarily for the purposes of marketing, for the purposes of data analytics. In essence, what they really want to do is enable the data subject to control who and what happens to their electronic footprint as it moves on beyond their control.
So, Mark, for institutions who are actively recruiting international students from Europe, obviously understanding with and complying with GDPR is a must. Are there any other use cases that institutions need to consider outside of international recruitment?
I think the most obvious one is online education. A lot of us schools, particularly here in Bloomington, have a great many online education programs in which citizens of the EU or even those residing in the EU territories participate in. If, in fact, they are consuming those services within the EU, they are likely to be subject to the provisions, and thus the institutions who are providing those services need to be aware of it. What if I have an overseas study program in which I am collecting information while they are working within the EU? Are we then subject to the provisions of the GDPR? Those are the kinds of things that we really have to pay attention to.